This story is about Mesoma, the young prince from our village. He wasn't like other princes. Sure, he was handsome and had the kind of charm that made people smile, but what made him special wasn't his looks, it was his music. Mesoma was a master with the flute. His playing could make the trees sway and the birds stop singing to listen. It was something we'd never seen before. I was just a boy back then, not even 10 years old, but I remember it like it was yesterday. Mesoma was loved by everyone. He would walk through the village, playing his flute, and people would stop what they were doing just to listen. His music felt like it spoke to your soul. It brought peace when there was anger, joy when there was sadness. If there was a storm in the sky, Mesoma could play a tune that calmed the winds. But there was always something off about the prince. Maybe it was the way he always seemed to disappear for hours after playing. Or how, when he returned, his eyes looked distant, like he was seeing something none of us could. Sometimes, after long sessions with his flute, he'd be covered in sweat and exhausted, like he'd been running through the forest all night. It was one of those nights when the song began. I was lying in bed, trying to sleep, when I heard the first soft note. It was Mesoma's flute. But there was something different about it. It wasn't the gentle melody that made you feel at ease. This one felt haunting, like it was calling out to something. My heart pounded, and I could hear others beginning to stir around me. People slowly crept outside, their faces filled with worry. Mesoma was standing at the edge of the village, playing his flute. It was a full moon, and the light made him look almost ghostly, as though he didn't belong. I saw him for a moment, then he turned and walked into the forest. None of us dared to follow. We just stood there, frozen in place, listening to the music fade into the night. At first, we thought it was just a disappearance, like he had gone off on some adventure. But days turned into weeks, and there was no sign of him. His parents, the king and queen, were heartbroken. The village searched everywhere, calling his name, but there was no trace. All we had left was his music, still echoing through our minds. It became a rumor that the song Mesoma played that night had opened some kind of door, a door between the worlds. Some said he had been taken by spirits. Others believed he had run away, overcome by the weight of his own talent. But no one truly knew. Years passed, and people stopped talking about him. Life moved on. But every now and then, when the wind was just right, you could hear the faintest sound of a flute playing far off in the distance. Sometimes, when I close my eyes, I still hear it, Mesoma's song, calling to us from somewhere beyond the forest. I don't know where he is, or if he's ever coming back, but I never forget the prince who could make the world stand still with a tune.